Hello friends, I welcome you all in one more knowledgeable interesting video. Today in this video we will going to discuss about that what are those amendments that should be incorporated in the budget 2023. Yes, just after few days we'll all going to see the budget soon. So what I do expect out of budget, especially in the income tax act 1961, what are those amendments that I think is necessity, right? So we will going to discuss that today. So the first change that this budget should incorporate, the first change that this budget should incorporate is increase in basic exemption limit. Existing basic exemption limit is 2.5 lakh. At least it has to be increased to 5 lakh. And interestingly, this basic exemption limit has not been changed since AY 15-16. Means it's been almost 7 years. This basic exemption limit is same, and our finance minister continuously saying that I belongs to the middle class and I am taking care of the middle class, especially in the budget. So this basic exemption limit taxation is hitting middle class taxpayer directly. Salaried person, a small businessman or a freelancer or a professional, everybody is directly hitting by this lower basic exemption limit. So this is what do I especially expect from this budget 2023, that if you really have serious concerns about middle class taxation or their savings, then please increase this basic exemption limit that has not been increased since 7 years. So it's the right time, it would going to be the right budget to increase the basic exemption limit. At least it has to be increased to 5 lakh rupees. Next, second important change that I expect in this budget is tax rate. Right. The problem with the tax rate that we have in India is that the existing tax rates are like this, and you'll be shocked to see this. See, if you fall into 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh tax bracket, you have to shell out 5% of taxes. And if you fall into 5 lakh to 10 lakh of income bracket, you have to shell out 20% of taxes. The tax rate on 5 lakh to 10 lakh slab is 20%. Means a straight away jump of 15%. So what we need is, what a middle class in this budget need is that there has to be a slab that lies between these two. I'm talking about the regular tax regime, not the alternate tax regime available in section 115 BSE. So there must be a slab that exists between this 5% and 20%. It could be a 12% slab, it could be a 15% slab, it could be even 10% slab. If a person is making 5,05,000, then straight away the person falls into 20% tax bracket. How unfair it is. Just from 5% straight away jump to 20% tax bracket. There must be some tax rate that falls between 5% and 20%. This is what I expect in this budget. Right? Clear? And the next change that I expect in this upcoming budget 2023 is 80C deduction limit. What? 80C deduction limit, right? Existing level of 80C deduction limit is 1.5 lakh, right? And this deduction limit has not been changed since 9 years. How many years? 9 years, right? This limit was 1 lakh rupees in 2014 and increased by 50,000. So the existing limit is 1.5 lakh. Still it is 1.5 lakh, and it's been 9 years of time. And from what level to what level the inflation has gone over these 9 years. We can imagine that, and how badly, how hardly this 80C lower limit is hitting the taxation of the middle class person who really want to invest, who really want to save, who really want to especially save onto the taxes, right? So the limit has not been changed since 9 years. It's been 9 years. It's a very long time. So at least this limit has to be of 2.5 lakh. There are multiple benefits. It will going to produce more disposable income for the middle class families. It will boost up investment scenarios, right? People would be more aware in making investments, in buying insurances, in getting home loans. So more money will come into the economy, right? So, and taxes would be saved, right? And the tax base would rise. More people would become tax compliant. The number of ITRs filing would increase gradually because of this 80C investment limit increase, right? Something that has not been changed since 9 years. Budget 2023 would be the right time to increase this 80C limit. If you really agree with this, then please like this video and share with a lot of people so that our voice collectively go to the right person so that the right action can be taken on this, right? So my next expectation is, out of this budget is, my fourth expectation is simplification, especially of capital gain taxation. Simplification of capital gain taxation is the need of the hour. There are multiple criteria, there are multiple holding periods for different assets to be classified as short term or long term, right? Why not only one parameter to decide whether the holding is short term or long term? This is first simplification we require in the capital gain regime. The next is simplification or summation of section 54 to 54 GB. It is a family of section in which you got rollover benefit exemptions in capital gain taxation, right? So let's make a single section that includes rollover benefits or exemption. Whatever rollover benefits or exemption that you think should be given to the taxpayer who incur capital gain should be written at one place in one section, not spread across section 54 to 54 GB. Sometimes section looks redundant, right? And it increases complexity in the law. So there is a great need to bring in simplification for section 54 to section 54 GB. I propose one section should be there that includes all rollover and exemption benefits. Next expectation from this upcoming budget 2023 is, and interestingly this budget would going to be the last detailed complete budget of this government, right? So this government, I would say, had the last opportunity to make their citizens of this country happy and to really make those changes that has not been happened over the years, over a decade even, right? So the fifth change that I think should be there in the budget is parity. Parity should be there in the taxation of LLPs and companies, right? When you incorporate a LLP or a company, when you incorporate LLP or a partnership firm, you have to shell out tax of 30% on the profits. And if you have another option to incorporate a company, a private limited company, you have to shell out tax of 25%. Sir, why we are not promoting LLP incorporation? Right? Why LLP have to pay 5% more taxes? Why partnership firm have to pay 5% more taxes in comparison to the company? Right? Anybody who cannot afford charges or fees for getting a company incorporated, then why that person should pay 5% more? Why there should not be a parity in the taxation rate of LLP and company? Why there is a difference? Let's bring LLP, partnership firm and companies at par with context of taxation scenario. This is what we require. And this is especially amendment that we require in case of taxation of non-individuals, those persons who want to have a startup, not through company but through LLP, those persons who want to run their businesses on a test basis, so that they should check whether they can successfully do it or not, so that at the later stage they should transfer the LLP or the convert their LLP into a company. Then why we are making them to pay 5% more taxes? So this is also very important amendment that budget 2023 should introduce, that parity equality should be there in the taxation of LLP and partnership firms, right? So the next amendment that I think should be there in the budget 2023 is section 44 ADA. This beautiful section is for professionals like me, professionals like architects, lawyers, advocates, right? So this, for doctors even, this section 44 AD talks about that opt for the simplified taxation, declare profit at the rate 50%, right? 50% profit, and opt for simplified ITR and file your income tax return, right? This 50% profit means you can claim 50% as expenses. These days, every professional have to give office rent, have to pay electricity charges, have to pay salary to the staff, have to pay internet connections, water bills, right? So these are the important basic expenses that a professional has to bear, right? And how much the client pays to the professional, that everybody know, and how can a professional can earn a hefty margin of 50% on the every single fees that a professional earns from the client. Any professional that charge X amount from the client, it says that, it implies that X amount should always have a profit margin of 50%. For example, if a professional charge 50,000 rupees from the client, then 25,000 should be the NP from that transaction. And if you want to go below this, you have to get your books of accounts audited, right? It means that from day one, professional should have profit of 50% at least, whatever be the receipts. A newly qualified CA or a newly qualified advocate, a newly qualified doctor who start their practice, from the day one, whatever they charge, it implies that they have profit of 50%. 50%. Even in the initial years, most of these startups of the doctors, of the advocates, probably runs into losses. And then they have to get their books of accounts audited from the first year itself. So this amendment should be there, right? And interestingly, like section 44 AD, this 44 ADA, if a professional accept entire professional receipts through a banking channel, then there is no concessional NP rate given in the section like 44 AD. This benefit has also been curtailed in this section. Government has introduced this section on the lines of 44 AD, but it is not totally in the line of 44 AD, because 44 AD give concessional rate of 6% of NP when you receive your receipts through banking channel. But what is the concessional rate of NP when a professional receipts, when the professional got receipts through the banking channel? There is no concessional rate of say 30% or 35%. So that should also be taken care of in the budget. Next is my next expectation out of this budget, and this is the last one, relating to the assessment, to the appeals, that there must be a time limit of deciding the cases, of disposing the cases by CIT appeals. And that time limit has to be a mandatory time limit. And it is causing a lot of pain to the taxpayer, because AO wants to recover the demand. If assessee fails to pay 20% of the demand amount, that also runs into lakhs of rupees, then AO decline the stay of demand, and AO keep on pushing assessee, taxpayer, to pay the tax demand, and assessee keep on saying that my case is pending before CITA, and it's been pending from 3 years, 4 years. The paper book has been already filed on the portal, but CIT appeal is not taking any action, right? So this is what I do expect. If you really like this video, click on the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye.